In three, two, one. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the M&I's podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host.
Isaiah, nice to meet you.
Before we begin, if you enjoy our analysis, content, and sexy voices, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Also, we want to say thank you for supporting us. We are 20 episodes in, and we want to give you a huge shout out to each one of you guys. Thank you for
Woo!
supporting the M&I's podcast.
Dun, 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 we're gonna copyright it. Dun, 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 dun.
All
Sorry,
right.
can you believe that we are like 20 episodes in, my guy?
Yeah, we
That's
are.
crazy.
We are 20
Like 20
episodes in.
episodes.
But
That means that we have done over like 35 hours of content so far. Almost, at least. If you
but
include like the half.
thank you guys again for supporting us 20 episodes in. All the likes, the comments, they are all appreciated, both negative and positive.
Mostly negative. We like those ones. Just kidding.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Our next topic is: has Father Time finally caught up to Lomachenko?
Oh, dude. Okay, so again, for all you guys who have been watching the channel a little bit, or I've have seen maybe polls, on the internet, on YouTube or Twitter, even Facebook, doesn't matter. Uh, Everyone was expecting like Loma to get this done via maybe some sort of stoppage by some later round. Definitely a lot early round. Loma is a notoriously slow starter. He does not mind giving up the beginning rounds to get a good idea on your timing, your power, and I mean even um at that point also to drain your energy as well, which goes well for Loma too. Oh, but man, this fight gave me like the same kind of uh oh no vibes as the Teofimo fight. Like I
He
when
was
when
so
I
quiet.
oh dude, we were usually like in a Loma fight we're like ooh nice, like ooh yeah, do that again. Yeah, do that again. Oh, nice slip, right? Dude, there was almost none of that. It was me going like, oh no.
And it was me. Wow, that's
Oh,
really good for
no.
Ortiz.
That's good for more. And because for the this is like one of the topics that I wanted to talk a little bit about was uh wherein when we looked at Loma prior to the Ukrainian war, right? Before he had to take like a year off against Nakatani, against Komi, uh he looked untouchable. He looked
Oh yeah.
sharp. He looked like he had total control over the fight. And that was what we were expecting because we didn't know much about Jermaine Ortiz. We didn't know about we didn't know how good he was gonna look. But Loma in this fight looked touchable. He looked normal. And I feel like I'm not sure if that's something that we should like put on Loma because again he is human and he's coming out of like a three like over a year of ring rest. Um Maybe we kind of like over expected um for him to look a certain way. I mean if you look at anyone who would usually take off that much time, they're not going to look as crispy um as they did when they were fighting on the regular. But what me and Mike were also thinking about is like, is Loma getting old? Ha- um, he looked gassed a little bit. Within maybe round 4 or 5, you could definitely tell that Loma was like was taking air from his mouth, um, like almost like a kind of thing, like a large gasp of air. But maybe that's just the way that he usually breathes, and I'm just not like paying attention. But he looked a little gassed and aged, right? His punches weren't as crispy, just regular things like that. And my answer for this question is that I don't think that Father Time has caught up with Loma yet, seeing as how he's only 34. He's definitely like within like the prime state of fighting. Once you get reach past maybe age 30, 36, 37, then you'll probably see something a little bit different. Um, but I don't think he's at that stage yet. And the time span in once he fought Comey to now, it's it wasn't like a McGregor type of time off. He didn't take like, a bajillion years off, 2 years off, and then come back in. No, this was like half that time. Um, and I just think personally he needs more time to get back into rhythm. I don't think Father Time has caught up with Loma as of yet, seeing as how he looked so good just a year ago. So, what do you think about that, Mike?
Um, man, if we look at like boxing history, we look at the people who've taken time off, like Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard. They took time off. But the difference between them and Lomachenko is when they took time off, they didn't took time off from the gym. They had access to a boxing gym and they had access to sparring. Lomachenko, unfortunately, does not have access to that because of the conflict going on in Ukraine.
Mhm.
So I don't think Father Time has caught up to Lomachenko. However, there are a few things that I kind of worry about that Lomachenko does that I'm starting to see a little bit more often than not, which is he's starting to take a little longer to figure out fighters.
Mm.
The Teofimo fight, why did it take him that long to figure out Teo? Because there were like from round 6 onwards up to round 11, Lomachenko was putting the hurt on Teo, right? But it took
Mhm.
him 6 other rounds earlier for him to figure it out, right? I think if, elite boxers like Floyd Mayweather, who can change up the game plan and change up and gather information in the middle of the round and in the middle of the fight, can adjust and do everything right then and there rather than taking rounds away just to gather information. I think that's going to cause a lot of problems for Lomachenko when he starts facing boxers with a similar type of mindset or similar type of game plans that Floyd would have. Fighters like Shakur and fighters like Devin Haney, where they adjust midway through a fight. They have a game plan, but if the game plan's not working, right in the middle of the round, 2 minutes in, they adjust the fight. They adjust their game, right? If they do that against Loma and Loma takes a little too long for it, that could cause problems for Loma, right? Granted, I don't think Father Time is catching to him, but I think Loma's brain is starting to slow down a bit rather than calculate and get all that information fast,
Well, we'll
which
we'll just hope not.
it's not,
We'll just hope not.
but we also have to consider Lomachenko has almost 396 amateur fights under his
Yeah,
belt, right?
that's a lot.
That's a lot of miles on the man's legs. Right?
Dude,
All the
like,
training and all that, bro. I'm not even like going in amateurs yet, but doing jump ropes, doing all the different drills, doing all the different foot movements, all that and that. Oh man, it wears you down. And Lomachenko, even though he's 34, considered in the boxing prime, he has them mileage on his legs. Mileage on his legs and mileage in his head, right? So it might be father time, but for me right now, I'm not saying father time is caught up to him. I just think it is ring rust, right?
Mm-hmm.
Time away, the conflict, there might be a lot of things going on in his brain, right? He probably's he's seen things or stuff like that, right? Even though he was a part of the defense force where he didn't really participate in the front lines, we hear it in the news where they're shooting out missiles and hitting buildings where there's like heavily populated people. If Lomachenko's around that area and he saw that, that could mess with your head,
Mm-hmm.
and all those distractions and all that going on in the background of your head can affect how you perform in the fight,
Mm-hmm.
as well as not being able to train like Jermaine Ortiz, who had the opportunity to do that throughout throughout his time. Right, he didn't take 2 years or a year and a half off like Lomachenko has. Right, so
Mm-hmm.
I think give Lomachenko a little bit more time sparring and training, and I think we're gonna see either an older the Lomachenko we saw against Nakatani and Richard Comey, or we might see a more improved Lomachenko.
Mm.
But tell us what you guys think. Do you think Lomachenko has finally caught up with, or has Father Time finally caught up with Lomachenko? Do you think it's finally the end of the Matrix? Let us know in the comment section below. So, thank you guys for listening to the M&I's podcast. If you enjoyed our content or have anything to say about the things we talked about, please like, comment, and subscribe.
And for sure, we are improving every single day. And we always try to give you the absolute best from the M&I's podcast. Help us reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. And we will see you guys next time. Peace, guys.
Peace.